Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me at The Lonely Vine. So today I wanted to continue looking at wines from the Burgundy region of France. So I wanted to first just kind of review the first one I tried, just to show, that it has, remind you that it's got the Bourgogne, telling you that it's from the Burgundy region of France. But then there's really not a whole lot else on here. We got the grape, some mention of old vines, the year, but no other real information on there. So that tells us that we're looking at grapes from anywhere in Burgundy. They are all Pinot Noir, but they could be anywhere, north, south, east, west. They could come from anywhere in Burgundy. So with this next wine, we're getting a little bit more focused in where the wines are coming from. So it is a 2006, and we can see on this one as well that it's Bourgogne, Burgundy. So we know it's Burgundy. This one actually does have that it's Pinot Noir grapes, so that gives us a little bit more information, a lot of information actually for those of us in the United States. And okay, now the next thing I wanted to see, get the glare out, that it's got this Cotes D'Auxerre. Auxerre, Cotes D'Auxerre. So there's a handful of major regions within Burgundy, and that's not one of them. There's Chablis all the way up north. There's the Cotes D'Auxerre, and that's where the big players generally are from the Burgundy region, especially when you're looking at Pinot Noir or Chardonnay. And that's, break that down a little bit more. You've got Cotes Noir up north and Cotes de Bon down south. Way down south, you've got Beaujolais. And, in between, I'm going to mess myself up here, but you got the Marconnet region, and I'm totally drawing a blank on the last one, so shame on me. But, you've got those five the bigger regions. And this wasn't one of them. So, when I was looking at it, I was like, "Uh-oh, where's this from?" So I started perusing, looking around, trying to get some more information out of it. It didn't really have a lot on the back, typical stuff mentioning the area, the hills and whatnot, but it did have this little map, it had, and so I was looking at where it's from, where this dot is, and it's pretty far north from where like the Cotes d'Or, those regions are, so this is up like Chablis region. Now Chablis is white wine only, Chardonnay only. So I had to do a little bit of research on this one, to be honest with you. And this does come from an area up near Chablis. It's just a little bit west of it. It's like in the St. Brix area or town up there, but it's it's pretty far north. Wouldn't expect to see Pinot Noir grapes growing that far north. To put some context to it, this is north of Maine. If you're looking at the United States, this is upper Minnesota, in North Dakota, this is like Grand Forks region. It's like in the 47th, mid 47th latitude degrees, and the U.S.-Canada border is on the 49th. So this is pretty far north. This is like Seattle. I don't know why I'm doing this, but Puget Sound. Puget Sound is actually really similar in latitude to where this Cotes D'Auxerre region is. Now, that area, because Puget Sound does have some Pinot Noir grapes, winemakers in that region. They're right on the water, though. Burgundy is landlocked. In that far north, you're looking at lack of a whole lot of sun, warmth, the stuff that's going to make the grapes grow. So, it's going to be kind of tricky. They got to be sitting on pins and needles around harvest time, hoping that those grapes are getting every bit of sunlight that they can get to get ripe enough, enough sugar content in them to get some worthwhile grapes coming out of it. So what can we expect out of this wine? Being that far north, being Pinot Noir, I'm expected to be pretty light in color. I'm a little bit, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried about it. I think it might be a little bit thin, but we're going to see. I mean, they're selling it, so hopefully we're going to get something good, but who knows? Crapshoot today. So let's go ahead. I think I've rambled on enough about it. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm gonna, this one might actually, so now usually when I do this, I just am blacking out the screen, but you can see, along with my monitor, but you can see the bubbles floating around on the top of this wine, so this is how much wine I've got in there, and you can see the bubbles floating around there. So that gives you an idea. That's probably the first time I've ever shown you wine on here and you've actually been able to discern anything from it. So it's so far good showing for this. So yeah, it's really thin. I mean, I've got a white tablecloth under here and I can see the interweavings of the cloth on the through it. I mean, it's really thin in color, which is not surprising. So let's I'm already kind of getting some smells out of this, so that's encouraging. But let's see what's going on here. Okay, so right away, I mean, first thing I get out of this is kind of a classic Pinot Noir aroma, and that's tomato leaf. And that's something that I think about everybody kind of can, if I say that, you're going to know what that smell is. It's not the tomato, but it's that tomato leaf. It's very distinct aroma, and it's really coming through with this a lot. I'm also getting that cranberry. It's another real typical smell you get out of it, which I like, but that indicates that there's some tartness to it. I'm not getting a whole lot of fruit coming through with it, which, and that's going to be indicative of old world wines. New world wines, you expect a lot of fruit right up front in your face. Old world wines, you expect to be, more earthy, kind of aromas coming through, and the fruits are a little bit secondary. And that's definitely the case here. Getting a little bit of cherry, like a red cherry, not black cherry, but primarily it's that tomato leaf, it's that cranberry. There's a little bit of a, there's like a tea leaf kind of thing coming through too. So, pretty interesting. Not what I was expecting, but I'm liking it. I'm digging it so far. So, getting a little thirsty. Time to have a drink. Okay. Now, one thing I did find interesting on here, it does say serve at cellar temperature. So they say serve this chilled. I'm not. I'm serving this at room temperature. That's generally how I drink most of the wines I have. And I can see their point. A little bit of chill on this, just a touch of chill on this would help it out a little bit. Not saying that it needs a lot of help, by the way. So right away, boom, that tomato leaf comes through. There's just an earthiness to it. There's a rusticness to it. There's, it's really nice. It just invokes this, where's the barn, where's the porch, where's a rocking chair to sit in kind of feeling to it. Really not getting, there is the fruit there. I get that cranberry, There's a ton of acid in this. Good finish to it. I mean, I'm really digging this. I was not looking forward to it, but I wasn't expecting much out of this. And I was completely wrong in my pre-assessment of what was going to be going on with this. You know, it's just, you know, when I'm smelling this wine, it's just making me think of summer. It's that tomato leaf is coming through. There's cranberries. There's, you know, when you hear a lot of people talk about earthiness to wines, you know, they talk about like barnyard smells, you know, forest floor, vegetal. That's not this. It's tomato leaf, cranberry, and there's just I'm having a tough time trying to explain a rustic smell and taste, but that's what this is. Good stuff. Good stuff. 12.5% alcohol. Just a little bit. You know, I get a little bit of sense of it. Just a little bit. Not the heat. There's just a little bit of the alcohol there. So a little bit of chill would take that away. But man, with the aromas that are coming through and the flavor that's on this, I gotta hold this one up again for you. This is you know, the Domaine des Repos, Cotes D'Auxerre, blowing me away. You know, I'm sure they're not all like this, but worth a shot. If you get it, if you can see it, if you find it, get it, try it. I think you'll be glad you did. So, question for the show. You know, I've been awed by this wine tonight, and you know, I'm not saying that this is like some 96, 95 point wine or anything like that. Just for my expectations going into it, this is knocking me down. But you know, what was the last wine that you had that surprised you in a pleasant way? You know, either you weren't expecting much from it and it delivered, or that you'd never heard of it and tried it and you were like, really? What is it? Because I need it. That's it. I went a little bit longer than I wanted to just because I was so like flipped out crazy for it. Glad I opened this wine tonight. Time to get into it a little bit more. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, great night, great weekend, great week, whatever it is when you're watching the show. Of course, I would love to see comments, suggestions, curses, whatever. Anything you want to say, I'll be happy to read it and probably write back to you. So until next time, cheers.